the littlest chef.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to The Littlest Chef. My name is Natalie, and in today's episode, we are meal prepping. It is Sunday. It's the end of the day Sunday. I basically have 3 hours before I knock out for the week. And so let's see if we can actually cook all this food and prepare all this stuff within 3 hours. And the second dish we're gonna make tonight is a delicious spaghetti with chicken breast, caramelized onions, and we're gonna throw some kale in there as well. All right, guys, so now we're gonna make that caramelized onion chicken pasta. It's so good and so simple. Here are our ingredients. We have some 3 large onions that I shredded in a mandolin, and if you don't have a mandolin, you can just chop that up very fine. So these are the onions. I also have some chicken breast that has been washed thoroughly with lemon and vinegar, and I basically just seasoned it with some salt, sea salt, pepper, some Montreal chicken seasoning, and some garlic pepper, onion powder, and paprika. And also you're gonna need some kale. You're gonna need some spaghetti. I like to use whole wheat thin spaghetti. And then we have some olive oil here, some balsamic vinegar, and 4 tablespoons of butter. Like I said, guys, I can't do dairy, so I always use Earth Balance butter. And then we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to this, maybe like 1 tablespoon. And to this mixture, we're gonna add our onions, okay? It's a lot of onions, I know. But after cooking this down for a good 30 minutes, it's really gonna shrink, guys. So don't worry about how much onions we're putting down there. So right now, my heat is on medium. You wanna be careful when you're caramelizing your onions because it really takes time, okay? So this is not a process that you can do in 10 minutes. It really, really takes a good 30 minutes to caramelize your onions on medium heat. All right, we're gonna mix the onions up, and literally you don't do anything to this. You don't add any seasoning yet, nothing. You're just gonna let that cook down with the olive oil and the butter. Okay, so right now I have it on medium high, but I like to, it is late, and so let us bring this temperature up to high for a little bit. And then once the onions have cooked down a bit, then we will reduce the fire. So right now our stove is on high because I want to just cook the onions down just a little bit, but then once this is cooked down, then you're going to reduce it to medium so that they can just caramelize and not burn. All right, guys, so this has been cooking for a good, I want to say 8 minutes or so on high, and you can see that, see now, this is when you have to be careful and you want to put your fire on medium because you see that the onions are cooking, they've steamed, and some parts are starting to turn a little brown. So now is the time you're going to want to decrease the temperature to medium. Okay. All right. We'll be back. All right, guys. So our caramelized onions have been cooking now for about 25 minutes. So when you see that it's getting to a point where it looks like this is when you're going to go in with the 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Okay. So we're going to go in with 1 tablespoon. And once this reduces, guys, it's gonna add such a nice sweetness to the onions, and it's gonna just, all the flavors are just gonna melt together really, really well. All right, so we're gonna move that around just like that. Make sure that the balsamic vinegar is combined with all of the onions. All right, and then you wanna let that continue cooking, I'd say for another 10 minutes. This process should definitely take about 30 minutes, okay, guys? You have to be patient because the end result is very, very good. All right, guys, we are almost there. So this is actually what our caramelized onion mixture is gonna look like at the end. It's literally gonna look like nice brown caramelized onions. And if you taste this, the onions have a nice sweet taste, and it also has a little bit of zing from the balsamic vinegar. So what I'm gonna do now, before we start cooking our chicken, I'm going to move these to a separate pan, and I'm just gonna saute my kale a little bit. All right, we're gonna add some kale. I love using lacinato kale, which is also known as dinosaur kale, because it kind of looks like the skin of a dinosaur. Do you see that, guys? So we're gonna saute this down, and that shouldn't take long. It should take like 2 minutes. The stove is on high right now. We have some water boiling in that pot for our spaghetti. And we will be back when the kale has sauteed a bit down. Okay. Once your kale has sauteed, it should look like this. We are going to take this and transport it into our pan that we have the caramelized onions in. Okay. All right. So now to this pan, we're gonna add just a little bit of oil, and we're gonna add our, all right, so to this pan we added some oil. Let's turn our stove on. Then we're gonna take the chicken that has been marinating for over an hour. We're gonna dump that in here like that. All right, and we're just gonna cook up this chicken. It should take about 15 minutes until it's nice and brown and crispy. Okay.
ordinateur ou bien sortez.
Hypocrite yo, sous-tentu yo, couteau des boyaux, raquette yo,